When we think about European climate regulation, we usually think about steel, cement, aluminium, or fertilizers. But what happens to something very different? A box of Moroccan cherry tomatoes destined for a European supermarket. Fresh produce is outside CBAM, yet it still encounters a growing architecture of European requirements. This is the fresh produce case, and it takes us beyond CBAM. The European Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism does not currently cover fresh agricultural produce. An importer of Moroccan cherry tomatoes does not have to purchase CBAM certificates for those tomatoes, but CBAM is only one of Europe's gateways. The canal lock provides a useful metaphor. It is not a wall preventing passage. It is a controlled mechanism that allows passage under defined conditions. For fresh produce, those conditions come from other areas of European policy: food safety, plant health, traceability, and border controls. They can also arise from the procurement requirements of European retailers and food companies. The product itself is therefore outside CBAM, but it is not outside the Brussels effect. European rules and market expectations can influence the Moroccan producer long before the tomatoes reach the European border. So the first gateway concerns the product itself. Can its plant health be demonstrated? Does it comply with European pesticide residue limits? Can the shipment be traced to a particular producer and batch? And can the necessary information be supplied when border controls take place? Many of these European obligations fall on the importer, but the importer cannot meet these obligations without reliable information from the Moroccan producer and exporter. The commercial question is therefore no longer simply, is this a good tomato? It is also, can its origin, treatment, and journey be demonstrated quickly and credibly? The second gateway takes us behind the product. European customers increasingly want to understand the production system itself. How much water was used? Which agricultural inputs were applied? What information is available about soil management, labor practices, and resilience to climate stress? Not every question represents a direct legal obligation, and not every European buyer will request the same information. Some demands arise from regulation, others come from corporate reporting, procurement policies, or risk management. For Morocco, water is particularly strategic. Drip irrigation, soil moisture monitoring, and related technologies can strengthen water efficiency and production continuity. But technology alone is not enough. The producer must also be able to explain what is being measured and why it matters. Agricultural produce may be outside CBAM, But carbon exposure returns through the supply chain. The footprint of a shipment can include agricultural inputs, farm energy, refrigeration, packaging, road transport, and the maritime crossing into Europe. European retailers, food companies, and financial institutions increasingly examine emissions across their value chains. Their reporting commitments and procurement strategies can therefore generate information requests for suppliers outside Europe. Morocco has a potentially important advantage: its geographical proximity to the European market. But proximity becomes a competitive advantage only when it can be supported by credible evidence concerning refrigeration, packaging, transport, product losses, and delivery reliability. 2 boxes of cherry tomatoes may look identical in a supermarket, but the production and supply chain evidence behind them may be very different. So the horizon for Moroccan fresh produce exporters can be understood in 3 stages. First, comply, because compliance protects market access. Second, measure, because credible evidence depends on reliable information about production and logistics. Third, differentiate, because that evidence can become a source of customer confidence and competitive advantage. The objective is not to produce data for its own sake. It is to convert evidence into access, resilience, and commercial value. Moroccan fresh produce is outside CBAM, but it is not outside Europe's evolving regulatory and commercial ecosystem.